Yo, what's good? What's good? Welcome to the Epic Entertainment Critics. I am Antoine.
And now I'm still James.
Oh, okay. I'm still trying to get this together. This didn't get on my nerve. Uh, Welcome to the Epic Entertainment Critics. Sorry, and we just introduced ourselves. But anywho, uh, about to do a little review for the latest Disney Plus show, The Mandalorian, that dropped today. And I don't know how many episodes they're gonna do on that. That's the Bounty Hunter Disney, Star Wars Lucasfilm TV show spinoff in the Star Wars universe. It's definitely in the same universe. You can tell that real good, real easy. Okay, hey, I'm a see. Full disclosure, James ain't watched it yet, but we're gonna kind of
Sorry, y'all.
we gonna get into a little discussion about it. I watched it this morning. I went on ahead and picked up the Disney Plus. If you, I ain't gonna say it ain't worth it, but if it's worth it just to see the one show because it's only like $6. So it's like you spend that when you rent a movie back in the day. So
Right,
it's kind of like I just rented this show, but the
right.
rest of it,
If you was gonna get the show on iTunes, it would cost you more.
yeah. So the rest of it, which you only get the one episode at the one time, but the rest of the stuff on the Disney Plus is stuff that you probably already seen or is mostly on Netflix. It's just all
Yeah,
Disney little old TV shows, Disney movies, Marvel movies, which everybody pretty much seen already.
yeah.
So I don't know. Depends on how much you like Disney if you want to get that. But for this show, you probably want to see this if you're a Star Wars fan. Okay, so the Mandalorian starts off with not Boba Fett, but a Mandalorian. But Boba Fett is not technically a Mandalorian, right? Or did he didn't grow up there, right?
Right.
I mean, he's a clone
Uh,
of a
yeah.
Mandalorian.
Technically, Django's the Mandalorian.
Right. Uh,
So
right. I mean, I guess
of those two, rather, not
right,
the Mandalorian of the show, but
right. I mean, I feel like you gotta be you gotta grow up with a customs to be consider yourself a Mandalorian, you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking.
yeah.
Cause he's just
It
human,
right.
humanoid or whatever the fuck. But you know what I'm saying? I feel like Boba Fett just grew up around his father, I guess. But up until like he was only like 10, until he got his head cut off. And I'm like George kind of messed up on telling that story big time. He took a character that people liked and made him hate him worse. But anyway,
Yeah.
that's a whole other issue. So he's a bounty hunter. So he's pretty much Boba Fett though. He just Boba Fett if Boba Fett was cool, or if you could tell the story of what you wanted Boba Fett to be like, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
That's who he
Hmm.
is. Like if he's what everybody thought Boba Fett was before George
Yeah.
decided to make him a joke.
Pretty much. I mean, this is what you get when you like if you looking for a proper Mandalorian in the Star Wars
Right.
universe. This is what you're looking
It's
for.
what they sold you on Boba Fett, like the
Right.
the the, the most fierce bounty hunter. He always get his prey, all that. And
Yeah.
then you watch Return of the Jedi, and he's he falling over and shit, getting hit by a dude, getting beat up by a blind Han Solo, and just falling in the Starlight pit like he was nothing. I think
Oh
then
man.
Luke just kicked him, right? Oh, there was the other dude where they did the fake
It
kick.
was. It was. Yeah.
He did the little fake kick where you can see him a mile away. He didn't really kick that dude, but he still go ah. But no, he's they show him from the beginning. He's a badass. He come in the door, and it's kind of a cliche scene where when you walk into the bar, the big dude always got to start shit with you. Hey, you spilled my drink. You better buy me another one, or I'm gonna kick your ass. We gotta have our bar thugs to
Right.
show that
Right.
your main protagonist is a badass. You got now it's a cliche, but they went there, it was an okay scene. It's I'm telling you like this: if you like the original Star Wars, you are going to love this show. Uh,
Okay.
Everything
Okay.
looks practical. It looks just like the cantina. It looks just like the cantina in New Hope. Like when you
So you
walk
tell
into
me
the
that I'm not gonna come into watches and just get hit smacked in the face with all CGI.
no, no, you gonna get smacked in the face with with puppets and people wearing makeup,
Oh man, you
prosthetics,
got
prosthetics
mm,
and puppets and shit.
okay. I look, if I wasn't already down, I'm down now.
Yeah, and that's why I said like if you used to newer stuff, you're gonna be like, man, this look kind of cheap. I'm thinking like, no, it's just kind of an homage to the original, I believe. Um,
Then I think like it's one of the places where like CG is really weak in the medium. Folks
yeah,
get lazy. They
yeah,
don't
you're
put
right,
they don't put a lot of thought into stuff. They just say, we'll plug in this asset later. And
right,
so when you have it there, you have whatever the alien is, whatever the effect is, it's right there in the room, and the folks can actually play off of it. Everything just works better.
right. So they did some pretty good prosthetics. It almost kind of remind you of an episode of Star Trek a little bit, where you see all these alien people and stuff. And they did, like I said, if you like the New Hope, you're gonna like this because it gave a lot of callbacks too. I'm gonna get into some of those callbacks. Your main character, I don't even know his name. I guess he's just a Mandalorian. If I could
Why
have missed,
not?
I could have missed if they said his actual name. But he's definitely he's a bounty hunter that's uh, picking up bounties, starting off, and this is basically what you would see if it was Adventures of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Just picking up bounties. So they did a callback to Boba Fett first appearance, and if you know what that is from the Star Wars Christmas special, are you familiar with that?
I don't want to talk about that.
But are you familiar with? Did you ever see that?
Yeah.
Okay, so Boba Fett, that was his first appearance in there, and he had came in like riding a sea creature or some shit. So they did a nice nod to that. No, they did it good though. If you
Okay.
a lot, if people never seen it, they wouldn't even know it's like a kind of an homage to it. But they did something with that definitely is a straight callback to that, and it was cool. It was cool what they did. So it wasn't like, oh my god, no.
Okay. So long as it wasn't cringy.
No, it wasn't. It's just hearing the Christmas special, you do automatically cringe. But if you just take something they did from that and kind of make it, a little more better, then I guess it'll work.
All right.
No, but but it was pretty good, man. The aliens was fine, and then they had some support characters. Carl Weathers, he played. He's basically just like the boss that give him his bounties.
Why not?
So they
I
gave him
mean,
some.
the guy's practically made to play the Sarge characters.
Yeah,
So
they. I really like because they kind of got this. They give you hints that what timeline it is, because he tried to pay him in Empire credits, and he's like, that shit ain't no good no more. Empire gone. You know what I'm
right,
saying? So
right,
you kind of get an idea where they at. You know what I'm saying? So this is after Return of the Jedi. You know, after the Empire fell. So we know that, and we know this is before. I believe this is before Force Awakens. So it's in between that time, like after the Empire fall, what's going to happen? How is the galaxy going to get along? Because you went from this straight rule to no rule. Like what's going to
right.
happen?
And that's the part of the timeline that I wanted to see more of. After like I didn't really want the time skip to Force Awakens, so
Yeah.
getting to see that part of the timeline is actually way more what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, I think the reason why they did that time skip because they was like, okay, we're gonna bring all the original characters in here and give a proper send off, and we got to show a reason why they owed. So we can't say this is 2 years after, what I'm saying? So they got to do a 30 year, a 30
I,
year
I,
jump.
I like that, man. I can envision that already. It's like, okay, we need an excuse for everybody getting so damn old. Time skip.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna bring in Luke and Leia and all that, you gotta be like, okay, wait a minute, hold on. Empire Straight Back. I mean, Return of the Jedi. You was young and handsome, and Leia was young and hot. Now y'all, not so
Hard
much.
living.
Yeah, it's a lot of hard living going on. So, no, no, no. It was cool. So now we kind of know what time it is. Now, what's going on? It's hard to say. That's why it's like people are gonna be kind of like, okay, it looks pretty, it looks good, but once you like now, we got past the nostalgia and the look. Now let's get into the episode. Let's get into what the hell this is about. What is this storyline? Who is this dude? What's his purpose? Why should I want to follow him? And then it starts to fall a little flat.
Oh boy.
Where and why I say that is because at one point, it was like I was having fun with it. The action was good, but he's going on a bounty, and they being real vague about this bounty, but they just didn't sell it to me. Like I don't feel the importance of this. It seemed like he just doing on it. It seemed like we follow him on his everyday, like it's like an everyday thing. Like
Right. I see.
it's kind of like following me going to work. Like it's not gonna be fun, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna just watch me go to work and clock in and do some boring shit and eat lunch and clock out and go home. You know what I'm saying? It ain't
A
fun.
day in the life of the
Right.
Mandalorian.
Right. And so it's like okay, so he's about to do these bounties, but what's going on? It's something about this bounty he need to bring back. They want it back alive. Now I don't want to spoil who this bounty is. It's somebody that's familiar, and
Oh.
it's somebody that you'll see familiar, but you never seen before. You'll be like, oh, this is. You'll know who it is, but you haven't seen him before. That's all I
Okay.
can say.
Okay.
So it was all about this last bounty. It was kind of like all about getting to this bounty, but they had okay. So they had stuff in between that kind of. I guess it was just to kill time. So he get to the planet where the bounty's at, and it's a Ugnaught there. If you know what them things are, they the things from Empire Strike Back that was working for Lando. They called them
Okay.
Ugnaughts. Not the they was like they did the carbon freezing.
Right.
I remember seeing
Yeah.
them in other things. They call them Ugnaughts. But anyway, so they call Ugnaughts for a reason because they some little ugly bastards. And so guess who did the voice for the Ugnaught? Somebody who already looked like an Ugnaught. Nick Nolte.
Oh God.
Hey, but it did a good
Uh,
job. It did a good job. He did like his voice fits the character, you know. And I was like, well,
yeah.
shit, Nick Nolte didn't even have to put on makeup. You could have just put him. You could have just put him in this damn thing
Just put him in the suit. It's
because
cool.
he looked like a damn Ugnaught. But that's hard living too. But
Right. Right.
but no,
Hey,
it
keep
was
going. I gotta grab something real quick.
all right. So I guess I'll just talk to myself. So I talk to the people. um, so the Ugnaught, they had this little wasting time kind of scene where he's riding this little sand thing. You know how in New Hope the stormtroopers were riding those little sand, like look like Willy Mammoths or some shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so they had this scene where he was trying to mount this thing, and it was a whole thing about him trying to tame it and ride with it. I'm like, this is such a waste of time. And dude's like, "Oh, you a Mandalorian? Your ancestors used to ride such and such. You should be able to ride this." And I'm like, "Okay." I was
Oh,
like, "Man,
why not?
you got a
Why
speeder
not?
or something?" They're like, "No, you can't use a speeder. You got to ride this." Like, why? And Oh, they did a nice little callback to the New Hope with the speeders. They had some speeders. They had the Luke old speeder. Well, they had some speeders that looked like Luke old little land speeder.
Yeah.
And then they had ones with the droids in the back. He was like, no droids. Like for some reason he's like hate droids or something.
Okay, sure. Why not?
Yeah. So then they bring up this other speeder, looks like Luke old speeder, and it was all beat up and breaking down and shit. I hope they're not gonna say, yeah, this is the one Luke sold on Mos Eisley back in New Hope.
It's a collector's
Yeah, I
item.
know. That boy was like breaking down and shit. They's like, yeah, this is the only one we get. They's like, this is the only one we got with no droid, so you take it or leave it. It's like, all right, I guess. But no, like it was cool. And I'm gonna tell you who kind of shined is the IG-88, I think his name is the talking about the little robot. It was actually kind of cool. He's voiced by Taika Waititi.
Of course.
It was just one. He was like another bounty hunter that they after the same bounty. You know how that go.
Yeah.
But it was kind of cool though because he came in just shooting and doing all his little spinning and shooting and stuff. It was pretty dope. It got to the point where I'm like, okay, when are they going to run out of bad guys to kill? Because they just shot so many, and then they like, we pinned down. It's 20-1. I'm like, dude, y'all just killed 200. Like, how is there still people left? But it was still fun to watch. How they did that. So it was a cool episode. It didn't really go nowhere. It didn't really give you. It gave you some of a look on who he is. I don't know if he disgraced or something, but he is trying to build his Mandalorian armor back up because he's he's got like pieces like just pieces of the armor that's not. So every time he get a bounty, he take that to buy a piece of armor for his Mandalorian armor. And I hope that ain't revealing too much, but that's kind of give you a look on he really trying to be
So that's his motivation then.
Right, it means something to him to be called a Mandalorian, but if some reason he don't have the whole armor, so he's like making it, but it takes a lot. It's very expensive, I guess.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty cool, and we probably gonna see throughout the season him like replacing pieces of that. So it was pretty good, man. I really liked what I saw. I'm gonna need to see some more because, like I said, the it looked real cool and it looked fun. The episode kind of didn't go nowhere to me. Where I was saying it didn't catch me. Like if I wasn't already invested, I probably would. After seeing how cool it looked, I probably wouldn't even want to keep watching it because they didn't do enough in this first episode to make me want to stay with the story. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you on that. Sort of like just like a proof of concept almost, like not even feeling like a first episode.
Yeah, and I mean I guess it kind of do, but you just need a little more in that first episode to kind of keep you in. And I don't think they kind of did that. They only did that with the fans, with the diehard fans. They couldn't. I don't think they could capture nobody that's not already into it.
Right.
With this episode, I mean, I'm very interested to see the next episode, but I guess the stakes ain't high enough. I guess I don't know. I guess this person, the person that he's going to be escorting, is going to bring a lot of trouble or whatever. So I think that's where all the big story beat's going to hit because the main character ain't nothing to him. Ain't nothing to him. Just I'm a bounty hunter. You get in my way, I'll kill you.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, they ain't anywhere else to go from there. It's either walk away or die. So.
Yeah. I mean, That's the downside. The upside is it looks cool. It feel like Star Wars. It definitely feel like it's in the same universe as the original trilogy. But the downside is the story just not. It don't feel. Story feel a little flat. We'll see though. It's just first episode, so we'll have to see what else they got on that. But story felt a little flat, but the look is great and action is great, and Pedro Pascal is doing great. He never takes the helmet off no matter what. Like if you offer him tea or something, I guess he's just gonna decline it because he don't want you to see him with his helmet off.
So long as they don't try to make a joke of that shit,
I know.
like hand him a cup of tea, turn around. When you turn around, the tea's been finished.
It's a couple. Yeah, it's a couple times where they ask him to take his helmet off, and he just like, change subject or whatever. So I'm like, yeah, they're gonna do this.
Yeah.
And I guess they didn't have him take his helmet off through the whole series. I mean, I guess they say that's what made Boba Fett kind of cool and mysterious because he didn't wear a helmet. I mean, I'm sorry, because he always had a helmet or whatever. But that's just gonna get silly when you start following a person. But go ahead.
Yeah, it's really hard to push a character when the character is like always ready to go.
Right. Well, if we saw him in those moments, that'd be fine. But we're gonna see him when he's chilling. When he's not fighting, when he's just in his ship. Why would you have your helmet on when you just in your own ship? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like having your coat on in the house all the time. It's like, look, dude, it's cool. I'm in my house. I'm not fighting. Helmet. I can take my helmet off and chill, smoke a cigarette, whatever you got to do, whatever you want to do to chill. So I just think they need to kind of play that a little more careful because it's going to get to a point where it's going to get a little silly if they're going to keep on, always have him have the helmet on. So we'll see what they do with that. We'll see. Kind of like Judge Dredd, he supposed to never take his helmet off, but whatever.
I mean, but at least his leaves his mouth open, So if he got to, eat or something, he can just do that.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, we'll see, man. I think it's good. It's worth watching, and I recommend anybody watch it, especially if you're a fan. You got to see it. I think the story might get better as we go along. We have to see, but as of right now, the story didn't really take a hold of me. But the look and the acting and the action took a hold of me though. So so far that's what I give it, man. I'm gonna give it I'll give it a dope for everything, for the look and all that. But I can't give it an epic because the story just wasn't all the way there.
Yeah, I feel that.
But all right, man. That is the Mandalorian review, and real quickly, we are going to jump into the Sonic the Hedgehog trailer. They call it Sonic
Take two.
Okay, so a couple months ago we did Sonic review. We went off on this shit. Hold on, real quick. I need to do some shit. Damn it.
I'm Sonic,
you son
a little
of a bitch. Hold on. Okay. I just had to do something. Okay. All right. All right. So I had to stop recording and bring it back up. So, all right, now we about to do the Sonic the Hedgehog trailer. We're gonna do a little reaction for it. You got it pulled up or?
Yep.
Okay. And we did a reaction a couple months ago, and it was dog shit. And from what I was hearing, that they was going to the people, the creators and the people behind it said, y'all talk and we listen, and we are going to change it. We tried to give y'all some bullshit. We see y'all ain't stupid, and so we're going to change it. How much they changed, I don't know. I think they changed the look of And I hope that's not all they're gonna do is just change the look because
Right.
they got a lot more work to do.
Yeah.
They got a whole lot more work to do in changing what went wrong with that.
Like I'm trying to hope that what went wrong with the first look we got at this was just, the studio rushing them. But if they just ain't got nothing to give, they ain't got nothing to give.
I know. I mean, I know they didn't have money or time to change the whole movie, but I'm just hoping that they change the whole movie into Sonic don't come into the real world and got a sidekick human that be like, oh my god, it's a cartoon character. You know how they do that with those fake Disney movies and shit. Don't do that. Give us the Sonic on his world and do an animated one. But I know they ain't got time for all that. So let's watch this trailer, man. I just looking at this little picture of the Sonic world look kind of cool, but that's probably only gonna last a couple minutes. But let's watch this trailer and see what we got. So without further ado, Sonic the Hedgehog trailer. Are you ready?
I'm ready to go.
All right, action.
I'm Sonic, a little ball of super energy in an extremely handsome package. On my planet, people were always after my powers, so I came to yours. It gets a little lonely, but that's okay. I am living my best life on Earth. Ow! At the place Sonic.
They definitely
At the
look
fitness
better.
Mount also
Yeah.
Sonic. Ugh, I can't with that guy. Uh-oh.
Why are you hiding out in my garage?
They're coming for me! If they steal my power, they could conquer the universe. You have to help me.
No, I don't. Please, it's life or death.
Good morning, my rural chum.
Mr. Dr. Robotnik. I'm going to give you
So they
5
changed that whole.
seconds to tell me where it is.
Wait! Don't hurt him! Road trip?
This can't be happening to me.
Oh my god, stop the car right now! What? The world's largest rubber band ball? We gotta see it!
No, this is not some fun family road trip.
You're right. It was lame. Gift shop was cool, though.
I'm going to uncover the source of its power.
Yeah, hey.
What in the world?
I just
left
thought
it
you
out.
might like a latte with steamed Austrian goat milk. Of course I want a latte. I love the way you make them!
We gotta lay low.
Okay.
Now it's done.
Yeah.
So should we get out of here?
Yeah, time to go.
I always want to do this. Nailed it! Hey! Uh-oh. Let's go! Here comes the boom!
How are you not dead?
I have no idea!
Give me a big fat break! That was illegal.
Aw, this
He's
one's
better,
cute.
though.
Let's keep him.
Yeah.
Oh, come on! You've got car insurance, right?
Why would you throw your life away for this silly little alien?
Good time.
He's my friend.
Let's go!
I could have done without that line.
And I'm using it to protect my friends. So, you're supposed to be Tom's best friend that he won't shut up about. Well, I don't see the appeal. That is very gross.
Okay.
On Valentine's Day, you could take your girl to see that.
That's a cruel way to break up with
I know.
somebody.
So you try to get dumped. Okay, that is Sonic the Hedgehog. Better,
So-
but not saying much.
Yeah. So I'm seeing this has some of the same weaknesses the first trailer did. That is to
Yeah.
say, the people.
Right.
I don't need no humans, especially now that
I
they've
know.
shown Sonic's world. I think it's called Mobius. But
Yeah.
so it's like, why didn't we just get that movie?
Right. We could have got the characters from the Sonic universe instead of putting people in there. You know,
Yeah.
they got a lot of characters now. the original Sonic, it was just little animals or whatever. But you got like Tails, and he got like a girlfriend, and then they got Dr. Robotnik, and then they got all them his little minions and stuff. You got Shadow, you got Knuckles, you got, it was a whole bunch of it's a whole bunch of characters that you can make a whole universe. I mean, it's too late now. That's the thing.
Yeah.
They done already committed to this half Sonic, half human world. So they just brought the actors back and refilmed some scenes. And Jim Carrey just said, fuck it. You know what? Jim Carrey acting stupid just because he didn't want to come back. So he's like, you know what? I'm gonna make y'all mad. And I'm not gonna give you no more. I'm gonna give you the dumbest shit in the world. And when y'all say cut, can we do it again? I'm gonna say no, because I'm a big time actor and I can do that.
Like I told you, we had time for one take.
Right.
That's what you're getting.
So they probably look, man, you under contract, you don't get paid if you don't come back out. Okay, I'm gonna come back out and I'm doing one take. And I'm gonna give you the dumbest shit ever. And I'm gonna do this dance and I'm gonna act a fool. I'm gonna do a fucking striptease as Dr. Robotnik. Come on, man. Come on, Jim. You did not have to play them like that, dude. Sonic used to be my deal growing up.
Oh, man.
And,
I think that's what pissed me off the most about this is like, they don't need to F this up.
I know, but they did. So, okay, what's different? All right. It's got the same concept, but it's played out different. You know? And like I said, it's better. Sonic looked better.
Yeah.
Way better. Woo, that first Sonic. that looked like a naked blue man with a Sonic helmet on. It was bad.
Yeah, it was just an alien wearing a fursuit,
Yeah, it was bad. So Sonic looked way better. Some of the scenes with Sonic look kind of fun, maybe. But the what's his name, James Morrison?
Yeah,
that's where
Marsden. Yeah,
it immediately goes down when he comes into the picture.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been a huge fan of him as an actor, but his comedic acting is just
non-existent. But it's not the point. He's not supposed to be a comedian. He's supposed to be the straight man anyway. But that whole dynamic is so cliched where, oh my God, where you come from? All that shit.
Yeah.
They do that all the time, man. And then
like I said, I did not need that. He's my friend.
Yeah. At the end of the movie, he's gonna realize, hey, first he's gonna be like, I gotta get rid of this dude. And then at the end of the movie, he's gonna be like, oh, he's my best friend. I need, I gotta help him. Okay. Yeah. Y'all made it just a little better. Just a little better. Maybe if this came out first, I wouldn't be so down on it. But you can't save it unless you change it all the way. All they did was change the narrative. They changed the narrative, but it's just the same thing.
Also, I would have been way more into the narrative they've got now if he didn't come to the real world intentionally.
Did he?
Because now, so it's like he said everyone was after my power, so I came to your world.
Oh.
So it's like, so what's keeping you from going back? Like, I'm sure that's probably something they're trying to say from the movie, but still, it's like, so this is a choice,
right? And it could have been deleted scenes from the first cut. So it's like y'all put a whole nother cut together off the deleted scenes. Like, no, no, I don't know, man. It was just, I mean, and it was the same thing. They're kind of going on like a little road trip, something to save whatever, and then got Jim Carrey as Dr. Robotnik. What do you think about the latte bit? It's like, man, that's not funny, dude. You trying so hard to be funny. Maybe little kids will like it though.
Yeah, hopefully.
Maybe little kids will like it, but I'm like, I'm like, dude, you trying so hard to be funny. I was on board for seeing, Sonic and Tails and Knuckles against Dr. Robotnik and his minions. That's cool. And You know, maybe have Shadow, pop up or something. I'm cool with
Yeah,
that.
because I'm looking at this and I'm not seeing them making their money back off of this.
No, not at all. Especially since you have to do 2 cuts. You know already.
Yeah,
And then, I appreciate y'all listening and trying to go back and make another one, but I feel like it ain't gonna really help, because you pretty much got the same product. You just
yeah.
made it a different way. You still got the same product.
You polished it up a little bit, but
Yeah,
goddamn it, it's still a third.
it still smell like shit, even though you sprayed a little perfume, and it smelled a little better, but that shit smell is still there. So, thanks for you help take away the smell a little bit, but it's still there.
A bucket of spray paint and a can of perfume later, and it's still a pile of shit.
Yeah, don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know, dude, but I tell you what, Sonic looked better. They got that. They got that
Yeah.
one thing working for him. That's one point. But as soon as he run into the human, oh, I'm here to save your world. No, bye. Sorry, you lost me.
Yeah, like there's some cringe lines in this already,
Yeah.
man. So
I mean, and then Jim Carrey dancing on the pole, doing pole dancing. That is enough to say, you know what, I'm out.
I never needed to watch Jim Carrey dance like nobody's watching, man.
Man,
I didn't need to see
I
all
know,
that.
and that's the old Jim Carrey when he was younger and he was like, I don't know what was wrong with him, but he was to the point where he was like, I want to do the dumbest shit I had ever done or whatever,
Yeah,
and he do like he used to do some stuff like that on Living Color, but guess what? That was just a skit in a sketch
Yeah.
comedy show. You can do some dumb shit where you like, oh, that didn't work, so let's move on to the next skit. No, but you doing the whole movie, you can't do that shit.
yeah. It's like how many skits become a full length feature film? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you ain't gonna see that. Like Dave Chappelle's The Blind Klansman ain't gonna get his own movie. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel bad for, the fact that they made a new one and I still gonna give it the same grade. I feel pretty bad.
Yeah.
Because I feel bad because nobody never do that. They usually just try to get you to accept that shit.
Yeah.
And instead of trying to get you to accept the bullshit, they went and changed it. But it's not that much. I guess it wasn't too much they could do. So the money's already spent. Sorry guys, you fucked up.
You know what? So I'm gonna say something on this that I rarely say. Good effort, Hollywood.
Well, was it though? Because it could.
I mean, hey, at least they're operating in good faith now.
Right. If y'all do this more often and listen to the fans and be like, you know what, we're gonna listen to y'all, the people who support this, and then instead of just saying y'all so stupid, y'all just didn't get it. Instead of saying that, say, you know what, we're gonna listen to y'all and we're gonna change it. It almost make me wanna go see the movie to support it, to get them to do this more often. Almost.
And I'm not saying you need to subvert your own vision for like your own, new properties every time you come up with an idea. But like when you take something like Sonic or any of this video game, comic book stuff, you try to remake a TV show or an old movie, don't just do whatever the hell you feel like, because you're not just making it for you.
Right. Listen to your fans. I think they should, because when they write this, Hollywood don't check with the people who buy it. They go find them a writer that has nothing to do with this, don't like it, don't give a fuck about it, and then say, hey, make this script, and they'll make a script on what they think, and that's why it'd be so off from the actual original property, And
and even the way they go about getting it, it's like, hey, you're cheap, or hey, you got an Oscar nom, write this.
Right, and I'm pretty sure they putting Jim Carrey in there because they think he's going to sell as Dr. I'm to the point, man, like I said, I'm cool with all CGI characters. Give me you can do a CGI Dr. Robotnik. You don't need Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey actually, he's being old Jim Carrey, and that's too played out. Him being that damn foolish is so played out. I'd rather see Jim Carrey, and that's weird to say I'd rather see Jim Carrey being that serious actor that because I've seen him do it, in a couple movies. I'd rather see that Jim Carrey right now. I don't want to see this shit.
I've really grown to like serious Jim Carrey.
Yeah,
Because he takes that same intensity that he used to put towards being crazy, dumb, and wilding out,
right.
and he puts it straight into a serious narrative, and it works.
Right. Surprisingly, he can actually do drama. It's just you so used to seeing him doing the goofy shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But hey, it still look about the same, but the Sonic do look better, and I appreciate the effort. That's all I can say about that. What's your final thoughts?
That's all I got to say, man. Again, if something like this comes up again, maybe don't be afraid to go full CG.
Yeah.
I don't need to see real people, especially because and this is one of the things where I see a clear weakness in this mixed CG real people thing. They still haven't gotten mixing CG and real people to be as good as Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
I was about to say, and yeah, because it never feels like they're really there. It always you can always tell that the actor is working with nothing. But besides that, every time they do that narrative, every time they do that dynamic, it's always the goofiest shit. It's like it never works. Like not just because of what it looked like, it never works because they can't get the narrative right. It's always just they always pick the goofiest shit in the world to do it. Like Who Framed Roger Rabbit wasn't even a goofy narrative. That was actually a real kind of serious story.
It was like a noir crime drama.
Right. It was, and it was funny, and it worked, and that made it work better. You could take it a little more serious. Roger Rabbit was funny. The character Roger Rabbit was funny, but the situation was serious,
Yeah.
And I took it more serious. And now when they do that same dynamic with a CG character and a human character, a live action human, they always make it the most goofiest shit, and they do these dumb laughs, and the human always got to be the straight man, and the cartoon character always got to be some goofy ass, dumb ass cartoon character. It's like, no, you can do an animation in real live action and do something serious.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Hopefully after this bomb, they'll get it.
Right. I just hope they don't take the wrong lesson when this does eventually bomb. That's all.
Yeah, I know.
This is what we get for listening to people.
Yeah. All right, man. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up, dude. I forgot I had that Mandalorian up there the whole time. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. I gotta get ready to go to work. But that is our podcast for today. Thanks for checking us out. Subscribe to the channel and give us some likes.
And don't forget to comment. How do y'all feel about this new Sonic cut?
Right.
Don't worry about holding back on our part. We probably already said everything or thought it, so we just want to hear what y'all got to say. And I guess we out.
Yeah, we are out. All right, y'all. Peace.